Alright, so this tutorial is going to show you guys how to model with the arm of the robot here, using the 3D scan of my arm. So we're going to go to contour again, and we're going to go every 2, just like we did before. Pull that out. Let's just go ahead and rebuild this, and I'm going to go for 5 on all these throughout. Come here, we can loft this. Looks pretty good. Notice there's a problem with the wrist, so go and plan. We can it's kind of awkwardly positioned because I had to slice off the portion of the model that was left over from my hand. So we'll do the forearm. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and leave that flat, but in elevation, I'm going to go ahead and again use the shear command. Shift that up, and then I'll use this to shift down. Shift that down. There's probably more contours than I need in this, so I'm going to remove the extra ones, just like I did before. And then I'm also going to shear just to distort this a little bit, to open it up for the action. So now we'll start to be able to move. We can just come in here and loft. Alright, click to repeat. Hit OK. Cap those. Okay. And so now we have the makings of an arm. I can come in here and scale this. Oh, I'll just use that command. Scale 1D to get this to come down. We're a little bit far away now. And if I want my robot to be a little bit sort of more buff than a human is, I can come over here. I'll just disable this so I don't get this thing just to distort. Make this a little bit bigger. And I can use the same torus forms that I used before to get that to beef up. Alright, and then for the hand, what I'm going to be doing, hand is a relatively complex object, is it really necessary to go crazy with this? I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is I actually just hopped on the internet, and on this 3D SketchUp warehouse, they have these nice transformer arms, or hands, that I can use. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this portion of the model, and so Paul M. Manning, Paul H. Manning, so thank you for that. But these things are, there are some things in here that you guys can utilize online that can enhance some of the stuff you do. Alright, so I'll minimize this, and then I'm just going to go and import this. It's a SketchUp 6 file, so Rhino will take that happily. I just got to go and find it in my downloads. Transformer hand, and the way that this works is because it's a posable component, it's going to come in with a bunch of layers that are a bunch of states for the model. We only need one state for the entire thing. You'll see the layers all appear here. This thing is also ginormous because it's actually a full-scale transformer hand. So we will, and that's the layer that it's on. So we'll turn off the open palm. I'm just going to use the fist. I only really need, I'm working on my left hand, so I should only need this. So I'll just rotate this. Now the thing about this is I actually have to do a couple of explode tools because there's a bunch of block instances in this. And then I overdid that. I don't want meshes. Oops. Maybe too much. So here's what I'll do. I'll just come in here and there it is. So I've grouped together. So this is a block instance. So now I can come in here and explode that instance into objects. explode that again into 72 objects. Select block instance, and I can continue to explode. Oh, select block instance. The reason I got to do this is block instances are not really editable, so I have to turn them into something I can edit if I want to do anything with them down the road. Alright, so now we have all of the 77 meshes, and then I'm going to run a mesh to NURBS. Be careful about this. There's not that many NURBS surfaces in here. Now I have a NURBS model of the geometry, so I can come in here and hide this out, and then I can come in down here and scale this down, and then I can position it. So we got like Rock'em Sock'em Robot Fist right now, but we can come in here and just tailor this up. Now, for his modeling skills, I thought he did a pretty fantastic job. I'm just going to go ahead and go back into 3D, but this thing could still use a little bit of tuning. So what you can do here, and you guys will probably do this pretty consistently, I'll use this command later on as well. Cage edit. Once you run this command, you want to hit bounding box, and then coordinate system is fine, just hit world so you can hit enter. And then a 4x4x4 count I found to be pretty good, not too complex. And then it'll represent the region, and then it'll give you control points for all the objects in there. And then we can come in here and we can actually massage this around by literally rebuilding it. So it's going to think about this. Oops. Yeah, you got to be careful. So come over here and just move this in. And you can massage this stuff around until you get it to be right. And you can do this for any part, any one of the components in here. And this will give you the ability to do a little bit more massaging than you might otherwise have been able to do. So if I move this over, this is essentially the warp tool in Photoshop, only in 3D. And it'll continue, keep processing that. But that's essentially everything you guys need to do this. I'm not going to remodel the elbow joint because I would just model that exactly the same way I did the leg. And then the shoulder, what I'm planning on doing is I'll just go into that. So there also would be some kind of an axle and pivot position in here. So I'm just going to go ahead, if I were to come in here and model this, just sketch this out, make an extrusion, and I'll escape out of the cage edit so I can extrude curve. And I don't want both sides, I just want a chunk of it. Again, we can do a cage edit, bounding box. Alright, now we can come in here and I can select these, rotate them into place. Stretch this out. I can take this and I can give it a little bit more sort of organic or sort of human form to it. So I can come in here and you guys can start to see how this thing will start to emerge out of this. So I can come and select these guys. Just make that pop out a little bit more. So this is how you can start to use Rhino to do a little bit of sketching as you guys are going in through here. Just massing out this thing and then you can massage it in place. So hit escape to turn that off, and then we can hide these guys out. Just hide those. They're still bonded to that cage. So if you need to move change that for whatever reason, you just move it slightly, it's going to ask to release that. Now we could rerun the cage edit tool. And then we can model the tool, all of the connection details like the hip joint and all that. Alright, but that's going to be your arm.